This is Pure Vincy on Sweet Radio SVG. It's the show where we examine the sound and the soul of St. Vincent and the Grenadines over 2 hours. My guest this evening, Colonel Skarpyon Williams. Scorpion has come through the ranks of entertainment in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He has been in the junior competitions in Calypso. He has joined the National Youth Band, where he became the lead vocalist with that band. He went on to enter all of the competitions in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Soca Monarch, Ragga Soca Monarch, Calypso Monarch, new song winner. He has done it all. He has the trophies to prove it. Scorpion, welcome to Pure Vincy on Sweet Radio SVG.
Thank you for having me. And it's a pleasure to always be on Sweet Radio, Sweet Vibes, Pure Vincy. Come on. It's a blessing.
Thank you so much. And I have to say thanks to Branding by Week for making this particular interview possible. Scorpion, the first time I actually came to know you was when you performed with the National Youth Band in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Tell me, do you remember this one? I remember seeing this reserved young man singing this hot soca song.
Yes.
As if he was singing a hymn.
Yes.
Give us some lines.
Mama, yeah, yeah, yeah. Mama, oh, Mama, yeah. Bacchanal scheme again, we getting on bad. Loosen up, loosen up. We can live in this your place till the session done. Loosen up, loosen up. Every year carnival come, we getting on bad. We jamming till last lap done. Party like we mad, mad, mad. When
and you feel it so good. Wind your waist, wind your waist.
And I could understand why this is one of your favorite songs. Who wrote this song, Scorpion?
Hamlet. That's our bass player in the National Youth Band. Yes, he brought this song to me because Jeff was suggesting that we do some recordings, you know? So this was actually my first recording.
Yeah, and that would hold a special place in your heart. What kinds of doors did it open for you?
Well, it opened, you know, the door of popularity and also opportunity to perform in around St. Vincent and Grenadines. For example, you know, we were blessed with the opportunity to perform for the CARICOM heads of government in Canaman. Well, yeah, myself, it was a great achievement for me, being so young and all these Caribbean leaders, you know, in Canaman. I'm not sure if you remember that, but the CARICOM heads of government, I can't remember the year, but that was amazing, you know what I'm saying? Also, you know, performing at Basil's Bar every Christmas, you know, which is Christmas and Old Year's, yes, and New Year's. So I was actually working and making money for myself at a very, very young age through music, you know? And, you know, it was just amazing. And we performed for the ever popular caroling competition. Yep. And then later on, we became the backing band for the junior Calypso competition. After I would have, yes.
Sorry. As a youngster, you would have been far more accomplished than most other adult musicians.
Oh yeah. Yes, and you know, for real, you know, and listen, and the list goes on and on. You know, I got opportunity to actually travel out of St. Vincent at a very young age too. You know, to Grenada. You know, so the opportunities were coming. It was endless. Of course, performing for the annual youth rally. Yes, that's where I became so super popular. Yeah, man. You know, so it was so many different opportunities. You know what I'm saying? And also, not forgetting the One Love Bassi 9 mornings show. The National Youth Band was also on the bill every year. You know what I'm saying? Yep.
Quite an accomplishment for a young person. And since then, you've performed, as you said, not just as a youngster, but we all know as an adult, you've performed worldwide throughout the
Yes,
Caribbean and on
yes,
international stages for international audiences. What would
yes.
you think is one of your most memorable performances?
Okay, memorable. Wow. Boy, there's so much. But I will give you the most controversial one, right? Which was not too long ago, 2013, when I actually won the Calypso Monarch. You know, for many reasons. You know, of course, you know, I was not selected in the first 22, but then got the opportunity to, you know, I don't want to say reinstate, but but I got the opportunity to, to prove myself in finals when, you know, one of the competitors was not able to be a part of the competition, and I won that competition, you know, and it is, to me, it is something that will always live because I always wanted to win that competition, and and that's not the way I really wanted to start off. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be happy knowing that I'm a part of the 22 and I have opportunity to fight my battles. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm part of the 22, but in terms of, you know, me being selected, you know, it really drive how to put it, boy, it drive a nail in my foot when I was not there. I'm telling you, it was excruciating, you know. But as I said, to get the opportunity to prove myself, it was amazing. It was one of the most glorious time. I promise you.
And the finalists were announced, and we waited and we waited, and we didn't hear Skarpyon, and everybody was wondering, "Oh, Skarpyon
Yes,
didn't get in." And as you said, it was like a nail in your foot. But then Ronby dropped out, and Skarpyon was recalled. So, you know, it kicks you into another gear because you had already resolved, well, okay, this year is not my year. Move on to other things, and then you suddenly had to change gears. So,
right,
what was the preparation for competition like, and what was competition night itself like?
right. So before I get into that, I never rested on it never rest because I remember and I will start from, you know, because they started to announce the name in park that particular night. So my wife was there, my first son was there, my mom was there, everyone was there. So we waiting. They reached to the final person, and then, you know, Skarpyon, and I heard the crowd say, How Skarpyon name is not there?" That's when I know that the people were behind me 100%. So I felt a big disappointment. I felt a darkness. I went home that night and I didn't turn on the light. I sat in the chair and tears just running on my eyes. And to be honest, I was like, why am I crying? You know what I'm saying? And I didn't speak until the next day. Then I get the call. But as I said, I never rest. I never believed. I said, something is wrong. Something is definitely wrong. This is too. Something is wrong. You know, something is off, and my spirit never rested. And then when I get the call from CDC, say, "Hey, Skarpyon, you're in," I was like, yes. Normally, I would have, you know, reacted differently. Knowing me, I would have reacted. I would like, "Well, what's the problem?" You know? But I was like, yes, because for some reason my spirit wanted to be on stage. So my preparation, I was like, "You put me in, you'll be trouble." That's what I said. I said, you know, so I went there. I mean, I still got some nerves that night because I can remember they calling me out, and my brain went blank. Cause I was so excited, you know, everything just went, you know. And then when I got on stage, that was it. So that night I went there with nothing to lose, man. I but to win, you know, to gain, you know. Yep.
Well,
Until
congratulations again.
yes,
Until
yes, yes.
let's listen to a little bit of that. Why not?
Right. Okay.
Until scientists find a way, we will have to live down here in this world of jealousy, crime and hate, where mankind refuse to consolidate the bond between human. until you see each man as your own brother, regardless of race, creed or color. This ethnic division will continue, jeopardizing the existence of our youths. How long will this go on? We need changes, changes. You gotta put down the grudge. Changes, changes. Put on the armor of love. Changes, changes. Oh, let it begin with you. Changes, changes. I'm gonna start with me until we see that day when mankind is living in love. Bloodshed, suicide kills, or genocide will surely remain. Until we make a drastic move to conquer this hate disease, more lives will fall like rain by the cause of bombs and grenades. Until love is the foundation upon which every man stands. Prepare, prepare for the worst until.
Kaiso, yes, Kaiso. Beautiful song. That song, beautiful.
Indeed.
I'm telling you. And you know, so that song always brings joy within my heart, because I can remember the day when I actually composed that song. I was listening to some Calypso on an evening, and I heard some beautiful song, some beautiful Calypsos, and I was like, I would like to, do something different, but on a high level, and then boom, the song start until I'm like, huh? Scientists fine, and I don't love scientists, but you know what I'm saying, I'm just saying.
Skarpyon, until 2020, 2013, that was one of the worst years. You consider it to be one of the most memorable points in your career, but it was one of the worst years, which turned out to be an excellent year. But you perhaps have had two of the worst experiences that any artist could hope to have on stage. There was 2013, but the year before, there was Don't Give Up Calypso.
Oh my God. Oh
What
my
happened
God.
there?
Woo! Boy, oh my goodness me. Wow. Yes, that was my worst year.
Yeah.
I think I lost a portion of my confidence up until, well, actually, yeah, I did lose all my confidence that year, because I was like, what is wrong with me? Oh my God. And to me, that was probably my best composition. And Natara keep reminding me, even last week, because what happened, Jeff actually asked me for a list of songs, because students normally call, ask me for my music for the SVAs and stuff. So I'm one of that persons. So that's another achievement for me, where even when I was younger, people will always ask for my music to be referenced for their school SVAs, and it's really an honor. And that every year someone, maybe 2 or 3 students call. It's an honor, honestly. And it tells me that my music is the music that is an example of a good composition with good literature, meaning, whatever it is, musical arrangement.
So with all of that in mind,
yes,
you have good music, you have a good composition, your fans are behind you. What happened?
Oh boy, I think I took a lot of things for granted, where I am very disciplined when it comes to performing, and I think because I was, being ridiculed for my attitude towards my performances. When I come stage, I don't speak much, and I'm serious about certain things. When I'm in the band room, I want people tend not to understand that side of me. So I think I was trying to compromise for people's feelings, and that would have got me into a lot of disappointment for myself, and realize that, hey, Skarpyon, you can't please people. At the end of the day, it's about what what is best for the stage. You know what I'm saying?
So
and
trying to compromise, you created a
yes,
distraction for yourself.
right. So I try to prove people that I'm a down-to-earth person. I try to prove to people that I'm not a difficult person. I try to prove to people that I'm okay. I try to prove so much thing to people. And then, you know, you get yourself in trouble, you know what I'm saying? So I think that was it. I was just trying to, because actually that day, I never went home until maybe 6 o'clock. I was still out the house. I never rested that day. I was actually in studio. I took a lot of things for granted. I was idling, not prepared. I was late for park. When I reached at the gate, I was pushed. The security didn't let me in. I was like, bro, I had to go and sing. And by the time I went, the band started playing the band chorus before I even got the mic in my hand. So I was never settled.
So let's listen to a little bit of it then.
Okay, you have it?
As you said, we have the library. We have the archives. Come on.
You have to email it to me.
Good night. He was born on the plantation, the voice of the black man. Calypso was his name, pride and justice was his game. Uniting black families, one voice, one destiny. Always ready to defend the rights of the minority. Now he is all shaky and bent, not a head to him you would lend. To his grave they would have him sent by the hip-hop and the dancehall men. Calypso, don't let go. Calypso, don't let go. We need you in this time to give sight to the blind, give mute and the deaf too, who won't go beyond the political views. We need you on the stage to deliver the message of our cultural heritage, of the great men and women who have fought to build it. Build it. You should never give up, Calypso. No, never give up, Calypso. Please don't let the spirit die. Let's raise his status way up high. Never give up, Calypso. No, never give up, Calypso. Remember what he has done for you. It is time we show him that love too. Never give up, Calypso. No, never give up, Calypso. Come, let us work hand in hand to revive the Calypso man. Come on. Don't give up on him. No, no, no. Yeah.
Wow.
Tell me what's going through your head here, Skarpyon.
Boy, oh man, I was dying to hear this song. I don't even have a recording of it, and it's like, oh man, I could feel the unsettledness. I remember the unsettledness when I went on stage, but the song was well composed. It was one of those effortless compositions, because I'm so passionate about the art form that this song, to me, as I said, was one of my best compositions, you know, and unfortunately I didn't get to put it to the highest level, you know, because it was, as I said, the meaning of it was really to revive what we would have lost. And coming from a young person like myself who came from Calypso, who got the opportunity to be on stage because of it, this was a 365 for me, you know what I'm saying? I mean a 360, sorry.
You
know?
have just brought up a point which I wanted to address with you. There are other local artists of your era who started where you started and started in Calypso and have either moved exclusively to soca or have dropped out of the music scene altogether.
Right.
You have spread your tentacles. You've done a little Ragga Soca, you've done soca, you've done what you call soca ARE and BE, and you have Calypso. What has kept you involved in Calypso over all these years?
I think because I understood what it is, and because I'm very organic in my thinking and how I live as a Vincy, and you know, rightly said by you, Vincy. I'm very proud of who I am, you know. And when I was a kid, of course, we had those radio stations and few radio stations and television stations, which will bring these performances of calypso singers. So I was into it so much that I said, I want to be on stage like this, because the information about what goes on in the country, and then I understand the history of calypso, from reading and stuff. It kind of it's like there to me, you know what I'm saying? So I can't really explain it in a very good way, but I am calypso.
Now, you have been accused of stretching the definition of calypso.
Right.
What is calypso in your mind?
All right, so it's an expression of what goes on naturally in the surroundings and in the world, and of course people would have only surround calypso with politics or politicians, which is fine, because we could define politics in different social political issues, economic political issues, and politics like partisan politics, Now, for me, I think calypso is more than that. Why not talk about stuff that we could do to improve our society, or things that affect our society? It doesn't have to be just that only. And I think it was unfair to treat calypso in that political realm when it is an opportunity for us to speak to people like news broadcasters, about anything, So with being a young person in that generation and innovative as I was, I think that's what I did. Like, for example, Until, bring a futuristic melody that could take the music to the next generation for them to admire, and also to pay attention to, or also to get involved. At least if we have 2 young calypsonians in the near future, that means we are continuing the process of a culture that is, quote unquote, declining. You know what I'm saying? So with me being the person I am and producing that type of song, it will attract the generation now, because we can't be singing the way we were singing 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Things have evolved. The houses now that are built, the design is different than what was back then. Yeah, but we take the mantle or the blueprint from it and build upon it, but we have a fresh new look. And that's something that we have to understand. Change is constant, you know what I mean? And that's why I really want to do, and that's why I was so passionate about it. That's why I was in it every year. I wasn't focused solely on the Ragga Soca and Soca. My main focus every year was to make sure that I get my calypso songs to be in calypso, because I wanted to be a contributor of our culture and a pioneer for this generation. And that's where I started, and that's where my passion was, And people didn't understand a lot of these things. And as I said, I was trying to please everybody. Now I'm at a place where I learn from that, and I'm moving to higher things, which is I'm going to do it, and people are going to research it for themselves and realize what I was doing. There's no longer me trying to prove myself, you know what I'm saying?
And you consider yourself a pioneer, but you do have some favorites that are rooted in, perhaps, let's say, old school calypso, like this one, for example.
Good night, St.Vincent and the Grenadines. Greetings and love. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yes. Where there's a will, there's a way. Go the way that may seem it right unto you dismay. We were born to be free, but survive such rough history. Yet life still goes on in the battlefield. Our existence is a mystery. Coming through from the start, they learn how to beat me. Coming through from the start, they know we was strong. But I know enough is enough. Water can be tougher than tough. We gonna make every single dream come true. We got to do what we got to do. We got to fight on. Get up, stop complain. It's a universal pain. From sunrise to sunset every day. It's a living strain. Fight on. Never mind the sweat. You got that sweat to get. Every good seed you sow brings a fruit wherever you planted. Perseverance and strength go together. Triumph in all its reign, follow after. Signs reveal it's a shortened span, and time wasted is a crime. Let us move in retaliation. It's time, and clean operation oppression. This time, make way for the upcoming generation. This time. Whoa. Of gold could be won, but the strains of life will intensify unless we get up and fight. We got to fight on, take a rapid flight, work hard day and night. Is the one way to go if you hope for a future bright. Fight on honestly, fight for you and me, for the sick and the weak and the helpless, they are the needy. Laziness and crime go together. Rougher times in the jail, follow after. Signs reveal it's a short no span, and time wasted is a crime. Our talents we must employ this time. Grudge and selfishness we destroy this time. A future for every boy or girl this time. Hey, 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 hey. Faith is to the heart, like a flourishing vineyard is to the community. To all those who pursue the struggle, the silver lining of the dark cloud that hovers over our freedom, our liberty, and our independence can be seen clearly now. I'm talking about honorable people. Hugh Malzack, George McIntosh, Ebenezer Theodore Joshua, and his wife Ivy, the great Sir James Mitchell, Arnim Eustace, and right now the Right Honorable Ralph Gonzalez. The struggle continues. Haiti, Libya, Afghanistan, Iraq, and all those countries torn apart by the wicked imposters of war and crime. Perseverance and strength put together, the struggle continues. And before I leave, and wish you all the best on your 30th anniversary of independence, I want to make sure that I sing this note. You observe that on Friday night, one of our youths sang this song and won the crown. It shows that our music has transcended the generations. One great achievement, as silent as it may be, needs mentioning. Congrats, my dear young Cornwall. You're doing well. We are making positive moves ahead. Continue to rise, continue to shine, continue to move forward. St.Vincent and the Grenadines, son of the soil, Razom says, I love you. Thank you. Good night. God bless. Ding, ding, ding.
Razom was a gem that I don't want to say we lost, but that has gone to the greater height, the higher road, and his memories will always live on, and to be honest, as I said, Razom, that song is one of the best composed calypso ever. You know what I'm saying? And we as Vincent need to stop playing with our musicians and stop playing with our composition. And we need to recognize, like honestly recognize the contribution and the ability that we have here on this rock. You know what I'm saying? These 32 islands and keys, because we don't have a musical university, but our musical university is the naturalness, and that ties in again with pure Vincy. Until we recognize how special we are, as I said, as the name suggests, that was given by our forefathers, as Hairuna, Land of the Blessed. That is not a joke, and there's a reason why we were named Land of the Blessed. You know what I'm saying?
You said that we need to stop messing around with our compositions, and you said one of the things that appealed to you about Razom was perhaps the different nature of his music. And your music is generally full of very complicated melodies and packed with lyrics. And that could make a song difficult to follow and difficult to sing along to.
Right.
What drives your style, and how do you manage to make even these complicated songs appeal to your audience? And let me just share this one with you to drive home perhaps the point that I want to make.
Let's do this. I know they go call me name, yeah, but I don't really care, cause I come out to break away, and I come out to ramage, and I come out to join the band, national colors in my hand, and I love up this feeling, round the clock no sleeping, so turn up the speaker, put the music louder. Soca no longer once a year. Soca is every day. This music have plenty vibes. This music keeps me alive. Bring me such a feeling to see bumpers whining. Put up your drinking glasses. Show me what you're drinking. So be ready to go non-stop. Winding up on the truck. So be ready to turn this up. Show me all that you've got. So be ready. So be ready. So be ready, 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 ready. Make me hand them race. Show me what you're feeling when soca hit up your system. It's no behaving, misbehaving.
So that has about 1,040,000 twists and turns. Whereas you have a great appreciation for music and its different nuances.
Yes.
Where the simpletons like me, who really can't keep up with everything there. How do
Right.
you, what drives that style and that passion for complication?
Okay, now, if you're a lover of jazz music, blues, you will understand, because people will say, "Well, I don't love blues because it's complicated," right? But it's actually not. You know, it's a different level of musical appreciation and another level of music where now it's funny that you say complicated, which in my opinion maybe I don't want to say a negative connotation, but it is a burst of melodies, because the instrumentation has a minor structure, and once I hear minor chords I go crazy, because I said I'm a lover of blues and jazz. So this was the perfect music or the opportunity for me to express what Carnival is. This is what it was. And with that now I was able to interject what we need to do as human beings for our music. Stop playing it seasonal. It's Soca 365, you know what I'm saying? And it's if you listen to the lyrics of the song, it's basically speak from beginning to end. Or mass, what we do, you know. This music is a jubilation, is a freedom. This song is a freedom song, you know. It isn't, I can't explain it, but it's just what it is, you know. Soca 365. And funny enough that this song, whenever this song plays, it goes right in the skin of the people. And I can remember my last time performing this song was in Beckley of this year, and it almost didn't make my list. And when this song came on, it was eruption. Okay. Soca 365 was a song that I actually slept on in terms of being in my actual performance list. But when I saw what they did in Beckley, I was like, wow. And people did come up to me when the song was released. They're like, "Boy, Skarpyon song is beautiful. You know, it's tough." You know what I'm saying? And I think what happened, there was another song that came out on the rhythm that was by Hyper, which was very simple. So people run with the simplicity of that and miss the beautiful composition. But this song is now the song that in the head, "Boy, Skarpyon Soca 365," because when you're all of us are musical beings, but our air sometimes is the song to our soul, and if you block that, you won't actually feel what is you're actually feeling. You know, if you just open your ear, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna go right in the veins. You know what I mean?
Let's take it back to a time when perhaps Skarpyon music was a bit more simple and easier to follow now.
Baby, baby, baby. Shawty, you're looking fine. God must have spent a little more time. You're the only thing on my mind. This is the sign. This is the truth. You look good in all your birthday suit. You're the one who can blow my fuse. White roses and a cruise. No doubt you are so special in my life. You're the one who's gonna make it right. Where you go, I would like to be. You make me complete. pimp juice and holler drink up. Full it to the brim till she get all tense up. Plus honey got a ride, we about to Benz up. Hit some it quiet and get all close up. It's on so we don't get all roast up. Seats down so she can get all pose up. Get all clothes off. I'm like, girl, you look better with those off. Better with a ghetto soldier like me. Good girl, bad boy, that's why she likes me. Oh yeah, precisely. It couldn't be my jeans, couldn't be my Nikes, couldn't be my accent or my ICs. Oh yes, for sure, baby, you pass it.
You are so precious. This love is so much, it fill my cup, fill my cup. Oh, but you're looking fine, but my for the little.
It's nice to actually look at you enjoying these songs. So this is Skarpyon Williams, Colonel Skarpyon Williams, and Solomon Bashigate.
Yes.
You have a lot of collabs under your belt. You've worked with Vincy, you've worked with Bomani, but of course you've been vocalist for the National Youth Band, for the Rebels. What are some of the other famous collaborations and supporting roles that you've been involved in?
Well, favorite, I think right now is with Keaton. I think because she's one of our rising female singers, And I did write for her in our early days when she had just started. It was not a soca, it was a ragga. I mean a dancehall. And then she was aiming to ask me to collaborate with her, and then this year she finally mustered up the courage to ask me. And one of my other favorite is of course Leave Me Alone, the Road March winner with James P. That song went worldwide, so it's one of my biggest collab to date, so there's some other songs that work with some artists, like my brethren Gallina. We have done a lot of collaborations, a lot. I've done collaboration with Icon, can't remember everybody, but that was one of them. Yeah.
And one of the big ones, well, I don't know how you describe it in the music industry, but to me, once more than one person is involved, it's a collaboration.
Right.
Funky business.
Right. So yes, now the stinger rhythm, myself, Kamal and Fimba, I think myself recently that was one of our biggest collaboration, my biggest collaboration, because we have myself, Kamal and Fimba working on the project. Yeah, man, massive.
So you are a writer, you're a producer, you're an entertainer in your own. An entertainer in your own right. And you have to do a lot of work during the season. What's the process like, and how do you prepare for your season? How do you plan a season?
Okay, so I really try not to have a season in terms of preparation for writing. It's all year round for me. However, there's a particular time, which I'm not gonna say because you have to protect your spirit and your energies, There's a time when everything comes without even trying. I could force it, like I did this year, because I was on the road a lot this year. I actually had to force it because I was like, it's gonna be hectic, so let me take this opportunity and force my composition, which is not good. It's not good, which is after Big Road last year. Well, Big Road still trampling big time, But I had to actually force my my creative juices. But the process is one that, as I said, is constant. Whenever I have an idea, I will come in the studio and drop it down. Or I may have my phone and record it through WhatsApp, and then it goes directly to Natara's phone. So to save it, because my recorder is filled to capacity. You're talking about over 1,000 songs on it. You know what I'm saying? And this is just clips of new ideas on it every single minute. You know what I mean? So I use my phone, and then of course my phone is gonna get filled up. But the process is beautiful. I don't actually write like with a pen anymore or paper. Everything is off my head. So I prefer that because I'm a lazy writer. I don't like to physically write. But it is more beautiful in a sense where what is in your head gives you a clearer picture as to what comes next. because you're hearing the melody, and then okay, so you're thinking it. I like you sing it maybe in an era, and then you try again, and you get the right melody. Then you move on to the next line or to the next few lines, and then and you just go there, and it actually directs you to exactly where you want to go. So you won't get too much of a complicated melody, you know what I'm saying? Like you said. But that's the process though. It's a beautiful one. And the process is constant though, where I'm always observing, always fixing about stuff, always using words, always humming melodies, always singing in the bathroom. Well, not necessarily in the bathroom, but maybe in the house with my kids, them playing around, because they are singers too, they are great singers. So sometimes you'll be singing and blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? But the process is constant, you know what I'm saying? It's not a specific process, it's just constant, always composing.
Now, some of your biggest fans, again, from reliable sources,
Right.
are Joy Matthews,
Right.
Debbie Morris,
Right.
your grandmother, and
Right.
a lot of the elders in your community,
Right.
right? And you started in the days, well, before, but one of the times when you came to prominence was with Loosen Up. And in your own words, Loosen Up, the era of Loosen Up, were very innocent times for Skarpyon.
Right.
You're now at Big Road.
Yes.
And I looked at the video for Big Road. And
Right.
I understand Joy also said, Skarpyon, is this? Where are we going here? How
Yeah.
do you bridge the gap between Loosen Up and the Big Road video for those fans, those conservative fans?
Okay, well, as I said, I'm an adult now. I'm saying I'm making my own decision. I have a family. Also, I've grown in an industry where people know my work and know what I stand for as it relates to, my morals and, my music especially. So, Big Road, maybe the video is different from the song. There are some objections, coming from people, and it's quite understandable because you have to push the envelope sometimes, not in a way where it is degradable to a certain degree. We are in an era now where people dance, and if we want to argue the point where people may have issues with a girl in a shorts or whatever, then I could go to, girls walk on stage for Miss SVG in swimsuit, basically, which is underwear, basically. And if you want to argue that point, so it depends on the setting and it depends on who's doing it. Then people have double standard in their objections or their opinions, So I really don't want to go there. But as I said, I'm a man, and whatever decision I make it within the context of the music and what is appropriate and what is not, and what can be shown on television or prime TV or whatever it is. And it's fine, you know what I'm saying? So them, and to answer, sorry.
Not to be cantankerous or controversial, right?
Right.
But you drew the parallel of what appears in Miss SVG, where girls would come in swimsuits, as opposed to your video where the girls are in shorts. But the girls who come to Miss SVG in their bikinis and swimsuits present themselves in a certain way, which is not necessarily the same way in which some of the people in the Big Road video presented themselves in their shorts or bikini-like top.
Well, right, because Big Road is dancing. Big Road is what goes on the road, So I am demonstrating. I don't expect to have girls coming on in shorts and walking like Miss SVG. So that's what I'm saying. So there's a place for everything. And yes, there one particular person who is my good friend from church did reach out to me. I'm not gonna mention his name, but he's a big, up there type of individual in that light. And he did message me about it. He like Andrew, that's not like you and stuff like that. And I understand, because I came from church and that. But as I grew older and I understand certain things, I realized that I'm good, I'm fine.
Note that I have chosen not to play that particular video.
Yeah, why not?
Big Road.
No, again, about Big Road. You take off until after Carnival. What do you think is responsible for that?
we okay. There's a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? One could be that people are not listening to music the way they should because we have so many different mediums. You know what I'm saying? And there may be one group of individuals who just have an agenda to push a certain vibe and forgetting that there are great compositions that you're going to miss because when those songs start to drop off, and I'm not saying it in any disrespectful way, when these songs start to drop off in terms of popularity, the music that has the engine or the juice was this road, was this song. And I've seen that over many years with my music, you know, and that is why I said, like you said, my melodies may be complicated, right? But not all of them, you know. But my songs have a tendency to live because of the fact that I was trained by one of our best musical directors, and he told me, Skarpyon, do not do what the crowd is doing. Do this. Listen to these music because these are the music that live for many years that we still influence today. And if something was wrong with my music, then the students who, quote unquote, are young people would come to me for my music to be an example for them in their SBA because they want to pass. You understand? The other songs, they are not using them. You understand? So that's why I'm saying that I am not here to please one person or this person over here based on their opinion, or if you may be a lover of me from a young kid, or you know what I'm saying, I have to think about what is best for me at the end of the day because you're doing what you're doing, and this is my life, this is my liberty, you know what I mean? And I'm not being combative or disrespectful. I'm just saying that they know that Big Road is a good song. There may be a little issue, as I said, for them. They didn't want to see the dancing in it. But again, the young ladies, I didn't tell them what to do. You know what I'm saying? They are talented people with dance. But again, we got to stretch the envelope when it comes to music. I'm an entertainer.
But the video was not released at the same time that the song was released. So
No.
actually, the video didn't have anything to do with how the song was accepted and appreciated. The song
Right.
has excellent road music, and I could see how people want to groove to this one on the road.
Right.
And to me, it is not one of those songs that takes time to grow on you. It seems to hit you instantly. There are those few songs that from the time they release, they just grab you and you say, yes, good music.
Yes.
And I am still at a loss to figure out why is it that other things really took off, but Big Road never made the grade until after Carnival. Does it have anything to do with when the songs are released?
No. As I said, it's just, they're okay. No, there were radio stations that was playing this song, like, constantly, you know? There were fans who were sharing this music, this particular song. No. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you with this song, you know what I mean? Big Road was really made for what it happened, and I'm not even trying to rewrite it or try to figure out it anymore. It's just that I know I was doing the right thing with music, and there are a lot of my music that is like this that people would have missed because they're not paying attention, you know what I'm saying? But I hope that people would pay attention to my music before it's too late.
What is happening with Big Road now? It didn't give you what you were hoping for during the season, but it's really doing well post Carnival 2022. What sorts of opportunities have you had from Big Road?
Well, yeah, I mean, it have me working constantly, you know? You know what I'm saying? I mean, in terms of me performing all over, you know what I'm saying? And Big Road would have, you know, given me another stamp of approval that I'm one of the top singers in St.Vincent, you know, and top writers. It would have made people look at me like, boy, Skarpyon, boy, you know. They start to go back to my catalogs, you know what I'm saying? Like, and say, boy, Skarpyon, this song. I'm at a point where I'm now seeing the fruits of my labor in terms of people are now recognizing that I'm not a one-off artist. I'm not a guest artist. I don't want to be a guest artist. I'm a precise person. I know what I'm doing. My music have meaning. It has all the components of what a composition should be related to calypso. Meaning, you must think about it. You could actually think this way or think this way. But I'm actually saying big road. You know what I'm saying? And big road is really what happens on the street. You know, and my creative writing, which came from calypso, would have helped me to give it another twist to it, you know, in terms of you know, how people want to think in the adult mind. You know what I'm saying? But it's really big road because this song was innocently composed with my kids. We were in the house going around, you know what I'm saying, around. We was my boys and we were dancing around. And then it is some big road. And I was like, huh? Like, what's that? You know? And I was in a very happy mood with them. And my eldest son is actually singing back vocals in the same song. You know, so so I try to do everything as organic as I can when it comes to the music. You know, of course, my music gonna be a little you know, sticky in terms of what it says. You know, because I sing basically mostly about females, and you know, and with that being said, I do have songs where I'm championing the cause for women, you know, to respect women, you know.
I definitely want to get to that point
Right.
before we close this interview. But
Right.
I just want to follow on from something that you said, that Big Road post Carnival 2022 in St. Vincent has kept you busy throughout the world. And it has also helped to prove that you are not my interpretation of what you were saying at the time is that you are not a GUESS artist.
Right, exactly.
But also looking at where Big Road has taken you in 2023, you are not a GUEST artist either.
Right.
You are a headliner because you're
Right.
going to be headlining Tropical Fusion coming
Right.
up this later in June.
June 11th, yes.
June 11th. Now, what are the responsibilities of a headliner? It's more than just being the featured artist and having more time on stage than a guest artist. What are the responsibilities of a headliner?
It's like the main course, you know. Whenever you go to a restaurant, they may give you some appetizers, you know, but you're there for the main course. And what people expect from me is to give them a complete show. And you have, in order to give them a complete show, you have to have music that could take them there, take them everywhere, you know. And I think over the years, my composition would have done just that, you know. And I started off when I realized what I was doing with a purpose, which is, how do I set my standard? And, you know, songs like Looking Fine, which was my early composition, and Turn the Lights On Low, and Forever. Those songs was in a high level of appreciation, you know, the way I sing, the way I compose them, and the context of the music, so that I set a high standard for myself. And then I go to, you know, to songs that, you know, like carnival songs, but still like Hammond Kongs that could, you know, penetrate the urban market, that could penetrate the local market, that could penetrate, that could become classics. So my name could live on amongst, you know, the greats within that context, and create music that people could have conversation about. Now, mentioning Hammond Kongs was the theme song for the Kongs Festival in Union. And funny enough, Union watching API was the reason why that song came about. So it goes right back there. So that's what I'm saying. The pure Vincy vibe is in me and in my music. Everything is organically created for who I am as a Vincent, you know?
What attracted you to Tropical Fusion? I mean, I am sure you choose which events you want to be a part of and which events you will stay away from. What attracted you?
Right. I think it's the other way around. Tropical Fusion selected me for the fun fact that I'm a true representation of Ragga Soca, and also a Vincentian who continues to make great music and also to contribute in a big way and to influence where we go with our music. So I think you know, Suzette, the type of person she is, you know, she's looking for that type of energy that could bring a full representation of embodiment of Vincentian culture. And the only person who could fit in that category was the singer man, Skarpyon, you know. So
So
it
the
makes
next big place to see Skarpyon is at Tropical Fusion on the 11th of June. Where is
in
that
Ottawa.
event?
In Ottawa.
Okay. So what can we expect at Tropical Fusion?
Well,
What's
because
the show like?
yeah, okay. So tropical fusion is basically, is to highlight, the talents of St. Vincent and Grenadines with a twist of, who we are as a people culturally, and and the diversity that we have maybe in music and in talents, and to represent the music that we call Ragga Soca, which again is now being sidelined by the groovy context, where people say groovy songs. It is groovy, but we are branding who we are as Vincent. Everybody has brand who they are, but we have a tendency to follow and forget who we are as a Vincent. You know what I mean? So Ragga Soca is what we really do, because there is no other country that does it like us when it comes to Ragga Soca. And I could give the example: Kevin Little, James P, Sola, myself, Bomani, and the list goes on, Majzad, and the list goes on and on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? So and the reason why our bass is different, we jump our bass different. That's why our music always, when there's a hit, and I could mention funky business as well. When our bass jump in the other Caribbean island, it becomes a massive hit worldwide. And no other island would have been able to do that in the past 10 years, like maybe I want to say 20 years, like us. You know what I'm saying? Whenever we got a hit song, it mash up the world. And Ratatatata by Dynamite.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, and the list goes on and on, Beckett, Teaser, you know what I'm saying? Those are Ragga songs that we have touched music, Black Sun, and it goes on. And so I want to be a representation of us,
What else is supposed to happen during that event?
Well, during the event, they're gonna have maybe food, and I'm thinking that the food and drinks gonna be Vincentian products, and listen. So Suzette is doing a great job when it comes to that, and I'm urging persons in that diaspora to come out and support, because persons gonna be seeing me first. For the first, going to see me for the first time, and this is my first visit in that particular province. I don't know if it's a province, but in Ottawa. Yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Of course, whenever you venture into new areas, it gives you an opportunity to spread your wings. You know what I'm saying, and bring people into our culture, and bring people into my space as well. When it comes to my music, and that's is upwards from here. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I continue to represent who we are as Vincentian when it comes to our music. My dominant music is Ragga Soca, with different style, different twists, whatever. I have different style of Ragga Soca. No, I have the power Ragga Soca, which is like Big Road, Rum Do That, Aman Counts.
Give me one of them type of hands, man. Yeah. Just rate me the best in the West when it comes to cocongs, lad, no other can't. Spice me, select them, and Jonathan Brennan dripping in cold sweat. Shana Kongs does pull me, Lakeisha Kongs control me. Lana hypnotize me, all in my sleep me want it.
Go Skarpyon.
Girl approach me from town, yeah, with the basket full of fresh conks. She want me crack it open, but the size of the conks, me not too certain. So me take out me 9-inch hammer, rest the conks on the counter, start to apply the pressure. She want me go hard, so me knock it with the hammer. But the conks not break. But the conks only break, lad. And me beat it with the hammer. But the conks not break. But the conks only break, lad. Hammer.
Still the congs when break. But the congs when break, lad. Look at me hit it, me can't break it. Look at me hit it, me can't break it. Hours for hours, me hammering the congs is one piece of meat, me underestimate. Me hit it from front to back, side to side, upside down, and still no crack. The congs are really please me. The gongs are trying to frustrate me. The gongs are got me weary. Yeah, let me back me feel it. This girl approached me from Tonga with she basket full up of fresh gongs. She want me crack it open, but the size of the gongs me not too certain. So me pull out the 9-inch hammer. Rest the gongs on the counter. Start to apply the pressure. She want me go hard, so me knock it with the hammer. The hammer, the hammer, the hammer, the hammer, the hammer. Still the gongs when you break. Still the gongs when you break, lad. Me beat it with the hammer, the hammer, the hammer, the hammer, the hammer, the hammer. But the gongs when you break. But the gongs when you break, lad.
So folks in Ottawa and surrounding areas, that's just a taste of what you're going to see in Tropical Fusion on June 11th. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, go to the SVG Association of Ottawa Facebook page and find out how to order your tickets. And if you can't make it in person, you can actually get a virtual ticket, I am told. So please support the SVG Association of Ottawa. Look at Skarpyon as a headliner on
Yeah, man.
June 11th at Tropical Fusion.
Yep, yep.
Skarpyon, you pointed to Razum, Walter Porter, Mystery, and some of the other Calypsonians who have influenced you. You also said you have a love for jazz. What are the influences in your life, in your career, from your childhood to now?
To deal with the calypso aspect of the influencers,